Already without sophomore receiver Chase Claypool, Notre Dame will not have sophomore receiver Kevin Stepherson or freshman running back C.J. Holmes in the Citrus Bowl on January 1, Irish coach Brian Kelly announced Wednesday afternoon. University of Notre Dame football coach Brian Kelly announced Wednesday that sophomore wide receiver Kevin Stepherson and freshman running back C.J. Holmes have each been suspended indefinitely from all football-related activities. Michael Burchett and Sid Burchie December 20, 2017 WNDU reported this suspension stems from a shoplifting incident Friday night in which both Stepherson and Holmes were arrested. Charges are pending. This is Stepherson's second suspension of the 2017 season, though the first one that cost him the season's first 4 games was never officially confirmed. He was also involved in an arrest of 5 Notre Dame players for marijuana possession the week before the 2016 season. It took Stepherson another couple games to find his on-field groove, finally breaking loose against USC for 3 catches for 58 yards and a score, adding 2 rushes for 24 yards. He finished the season with 19 catches for 359 yards and 5 two-counts with 5 rush attempts and 76 yards. Accumulating those stats in essentially half a season kept Stepherson on a similar pace, actually, a better one, as his breakout freshman campaign. Holmes enrolled early last winter, but then suffered a shoulder injury in spring practice. At first, it seemed that might keep him out the entire season, but his ankle injuries depleted the Notre Dame running back corps. He saw some action to provide possible depth. Holmes finished with 8 carries for 32 yards, all coming in the October 7 victory at North Carolina. Claypool will miss the bowl game against number 17 LSU due to shoulder surgery. He finished the season with 29 catches for 402 yards and 2 two-counts. Kelly previously said junior Equanimous St. Brown would move into Claypool's position as the field receiver and junior Miles Boykin could see more time at the boundary position, St. Brown's usual duty. That should still be the case even without Stepherson. Irish fifth-year receiver Cam Smith has recovered from hamstring issues that plagued him in the season's second half. He could be a quick fix to Stepherson's absence. Tarek Bracy Milpitas High School Caliph. Measurements, 60, 170 pounds. Accolades, Rivals.com 3-star no. 39 cornerback in the country and no. 65 prospect in California. Other notable offers, Bracy chose Notre Dame over a litany of West Coast options, including Cal, Utah and Washington State. Projected position, cornerback. Quick take, remember when the Irish failed to sign a single cornerback just 10 months ago? Bracy is another piece of rectifying that failure. Short-term roster outlook, that dearth of corners directly in front of him presents a path for Bracy to find quick playing time, especially if current sophomore Julian Love wanders back to safety, moving junior Sean Crawford to cornerback from the nickel position. Bracy could fill in there in certain situations from the outset. Long view depth chart impact, the Irish might be alright with cornerbacks at the moment, but it will need them in 2019 or 2020, and without any in the class ahead of him, Bracy's timeline will be expedited by a season. He'll be contributing no later than his sophomore year and, given natural development, could be a starter as a junior. Tommy Tremble Wesleyan School Norcross, GA. Measurements, 64, 225 pounds. Accolades, consensus 3-star number 18 tight end in the class per Rivals.com and no. 52 prospect in Georgia. Other notable offers, Tremble's decision came down to Notre Dame or Michigan. Originally he did not intend to sign during this early period, leaving the possibility of flipping to the Wolverines on the table. His putting pen to paper today removes that option, undoubtedly to Irish head coach Brian Kelly's delight. Projected position, tight end, likely more often in the detached role than aligned with the offensive line. Quick tick, current Notre Dame junior Elise Max 2017 may have been a letdown, but a comparison to him is still a compliment. Tremble presents many of the same difficulties Mack does to opposing defenses, with a tight end size but a receiver speed. Short-term roster outlook, if that comparison is accurate, Tremble may see spot duty in the near future, simply to put defenses in exceedingly tough situations. Long view depth chart impact, Irish offensive coordinator Chip Long can never have enough tight ends, and he will find uses for all of them. Mack will likely jump to the NFL following the 2018 season, and of the current stable, Tremble best fits into that position. Jack Lamb Great Oak High School Temecula, Caliph. Measurements, 64, 224 pounds. Accolades, consensus 4-star number 2 inside linebacker in the class per Rivals.com, number 10 prospect in California and number 77 in the country overall Under Armour All-American. Other notable offers: Lamb chose Notre Dame over UCLA, with most of the Pac-10 chasing the West Coast product. Projected position: inside linebacker. Quick take: Lamb will provide immediate depth at a position surprisingly lacking in the commodity. A physical linebacker with solid football instincts, Lamb should work his way up the depth chart in short order. Short-term roster outlook: Lamb might jump the current freshman duo of Drew White and David Adams. At that point, he could be in the linebacker rotation by the end of September, especially pending junior Tevin Coney's decision regarding the NFL draft. Long view depth chart impact: Lamb does not arrive and Notre Dame is heralded as a Teo, a Jalen Smith or a Niles Morgan, but he could fit into that line of talent before his time is done. There is no glaring weakness in his game, and he has physical traits begging for proper development. Kevin Austin, North Broward Prep, Pompano Beach, FLA. Measurements: 6'3", 185 pounds. Accolades: consensus 4-star, number 14 receiver in the class per Rivals.com, number 20 prospect in Florida and number 81 in the country overall offense-defense All-American. Other notable offers: Austin narrowed his finalists down to Duke, Miami and Tennessee, with Notre Dame prevailing, while Clemson, Michigan, Oregon and many others chased the deep threat. Projected position: receiver, possibly the field position, forcing a defense to devote a safety to over-the-top coverage. Quick take: Austin's mix of good speed with overall athleticism makes his future a tantalizing one. Short-term roster outlook: Austin could force Notre Dame offensive coordinator Chip Long to look his way early on, especially considering the inconsistent efforts from the Irish receivers this past season. The Florida recruit appears to offer just about every fundamental necessary. Long view depth chart impact: on the surface, Notre Dame's receiver core is a young one aside from current juniors Equinemius St. Brown and Miles Boykin. A closer look reveals the obvious nature of how few of those receivers have offered genuine contributions, leaving the door wide open for Austin to step through. He will not usurp sophomores Kevin Stepherson or Chase Claypool, but he could complement them quite well. Rivals.com. Micah Jones, Warren Township High School, Gurnee, Ill. Measurements: 6'5", 205 pounds. Accolades: Rivals.com 4-star, number 36 receiver in the country, number 2 prospect in Illinois and No. 179 overall. Other notable offers: half the Big Ten chased Jones, including Michigan State, Iowa and Minnesota, while both Mississippi and Mississippi State showed interest. Projected position: receiver, possibly the boundary position due to his ability to outmuscle most defensive backs. Quick take: Jones' size and strong hands made him a priority for Notre Dame. In today's version of football, no team can have enough receivers, but Jones is more than simply a fill-in. Short-term roster outlook: one of the two receivers is likely to spend 2018 preserving a year of eligibility, just given Irish coach Brian Kelly's track record. Looking at Boykin and Claypool as comparable to Jones, at least in size, it seems likely he spends the year on the sideline. Long view depth chart impact: a veritable size option on the outside has long been a necessity for Kelly C., Michael Floyd, Devaris Daniels, Claypool, even often relying on tight end C. Tyler Eifert for that capacity. Jones should slide into that role at some point and then develop his utility to the offense from there.